for the big verdict today. The verdict has been quite different from what the exit polls led us to expect. The NDA at only 292 now, still in with the majority, but the BJP at 238. So the big question we should be wondering is whether the NDA allies stay together with the BJP, which now has a much lower clout, does not have a majority in its own right. Joining us to answer those questions and more, senior journalist Sanjeev Srivastava and Ninad Sheth, also a senior journalist and political analyst. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Sanjeev, let me come to you first. It looks at the moment, of course, that the NDA is in with about 290 plus seats. It's a very moving picture at this point in time. It appears that between 290 and 300 will be the NDA's tally, but the BJP is down less than 240 at this point in time, probably 238 when I last saw. Do you think there is a problem of stability? Do you think some of the NDA allies like the TDP and the Janata Dal, which see themselves, the JDU, which see themselves as kingmakers, could jump ship?
See, the truthful answer, Lata, is that nobody knows what will the NDA allies do. But going by their track record, especially track record of someone like Nitish Kumar, who changes parties virtually every year on his every birthday, he has a new fellow partner. So what will he do? He has had a long-running problem with Prime Minister Modi. Remember, before 2014, they were like daggers drawn. And then circumstances make stranger bedfellows. So they have come together, come together. Now what he does next is anybody's guess. Same is the question with, there are not many other allies really who may stick or not stick with them. JDS is inconsequential. They have 2 or 3 MPs. I'm surprised with the manner in which the BJP's number has gone down. I was expecting it to be nowhere near the exit polls, and we spoke earlier about this. But for them to capitulate by in this manner, if they were 10-20 seats plus from here, things would have been relatively more stable. But now everything is up in the air. I'm told the UP election counting is going real slow.
Yep.
So that may also change some equations, and that maybe what the BJP will be hoping for is a best case scenario. But what is one thing is certain, the jalwa or the oomph or the swagger of 2014 and 19 is well behind the present leadership.
Now, I take your point on both issues. We are absolutely jumping the gun if we think that the leads will be converted into final seats, because even in the course of the last 3-4 hours, we have seen things, zigzag a goodish bit. But over to you, Ekta and Rima. Your thoughts first, Rima. The market's absolutely taken a U-turn.
Oh, absolutely.
From yesterday.
Yeah, and we're once again down to nearly the day's low, so 22,153. But let's continue with our, discussion with our guests. Ninad Sheth, senior journalist, is also with us. Ninad, afternoon. Do you think it's a real possibility that Congress may, lay claim to form a government? The India Alliance plus others throw in a Nitish Kumar, and there is a possibility that Congress makes a claim to form a government this time?
I think everything depends. The template to see right now is not the respective alliances. The pitch has turned dramatically. It all depends on the single party majority point of BJP. I think for the market, it's very important that BJP comes as a single party, because otherwise there's a dramatic change. We were expecting that if the BJP comes back, then all the infrastructure spending which the government has been, shouldering will be now complemented by private sector spending. That will radically shift if Congress comes, because Congress's promises are welfareistic. So not only will the infrastructure spending and all the other spending, expenditure of government shift, it will shift not from productive assets to welfareism. And that will, have a very long-term negative impact on the market. To my mind, the key figure of the third consecutive single-party majority is the defining question. I think if that happens, then BJP has enough, what is called Sam Dam Dang Bhed to go on and have 5 years. But with majority not being there, single-party majority, I think everything changes, and it is very difficult, therefore, then to predict the policy outcome as well as the government outcome in the very short run.
Yeah, I think we would be in the realm of speculation if we talk about policy certainty and continuation until we know what that number is for the BJP, currently at 238. But if the BJP by itself falls short of majority, what will the dynamics be within the alliance itself with alliance partners? That's the big question. But let me get Sanjeev back into the conversation. Sanjeev, great to have you here on CNBC-TV18. Sanjeev, let's talk about these three battleground states. And I'll start by asking you about Rajasthan, which is your home state in many ways. What's going on there? I mean, the polls made it very, very clear that it would be the BJP all the way, and it hasn't turned as per script.
So, Shireen, I seldom get these occasions when I can gloat a little. Usually, I always have egg on my face. But this time, on 19th April, when the first phase of voting was happening, I said that Rajasthan is likely to be 18-7 in favor of BJP on your show. And then I think the last time we spoke on CNBC was on 13th, when the day Maharashtra was voting. And then I said the BJP is likely to get less than 270. And I think we have the same fellow panelists here who asked me to travel a little more. So the thing is that if the BJP on its own gets 250 or north of 250, I think the government structure will more or less be the same. That can be taken for granted. Prime Minister same, top leadership same, NDA government, of course, BJP not getting a clear majority, but broad contours and structure of the government remains the same. But if it is reduced to what the number is, if the trend right now of 238, 240 gets confirmed, then really a lot of things go up in the air. Where do the allies go? Where does a Nitish Kumar who just changes parties every season, where does he go? Where do other allies go? And what about, if at all, there are some rumblings which begin within the BJP? So then a lot of possibilities get thrown up. I really don't have the answers. I don't also have any inside track of what may be happening there. But these are very obvious possibilities.
Yes, those are possibilities that will come into play if, as you point out, that number for the BJP is less than 250 at this point in time, tracking 238. Sanjeev, speaking of travel, I know that you did travel, not the length and breadth of the country, but a fair amount to gauge the mood. How do you explain what we are seeing happen in UP, for instance? 42 now in favor of the India alliance, the NDA leading in 36. I mean, this was UP where, again, the polls predicted that it would be a slam dunk in favor of the BJP, especially coming on the back of the Ram Mandir, etc. What would you put down as reasons or factors, besides, of course, the fact that perhaps we've seen a consolidation of votes and we don't know whether the BSP votes have gone to the SP or not. But, what would you put down as what has happened in UP?
So, Shireen, I would have expected the result in Maharashtra and Rajasthan, some other states, but UP has also left me stumped. For one, we didn't travel to UP. But from what I am gathering now, couple of things really happened. One, Akhilesh Yadav, who is the senior partner of the alliance in Uttar Pradesh, opposition alliance, his party was largely seen as a Muslim Yadav party. But this time, very smartly, he gave just 5 Yadavs tickets out of his quota and just 4 Muslims. The rest of the tickets he gave based on a very smart social engineering to other castes, Dalits, Kurmis, Kushwas, Rajbhats. So that umbrella and that spread or the net of the opposition alliance became wider with these smaller castes joining in this opposition alliance. The other thing which I think played out was some bit of Rajput anger, because remember what Arvind Kejriwal said in his press conference soon after coming out of jail on bail, that Prime Minister won't stay Prime Minister after 75. He's asking vote for Amit Shah and Yogi will be sacked within 2 months. So now the BJP was very categorical in denying the first thing, that the Prime Minister is going to stay. But there was radio silence on Arvind Kejriwal's statement about Yogi Adityanath, which may have unnerved Yogi himself or his supporters. And so really, what has happened in UP has left me quite stumped, because it was a state where the BJP was doing well, law and order was good, Yogi and Modi double engine on the face of it looked very formidable. But the result and the trends, if they stay this way, then that will be the turning point or the game changer of this election.
Yes, speaking of game-changing elections, it is clearly turning out to be one, completely, as I've been pointing out, unexpected, what the numbers are indicating, at least in some of those crucial battleground states. And we haven't looked at